So there's a couple of ways you can do this. There's a shortcut you can use. You can hit Control, if you're on a PC, Control Shift N, or if you're on a Mac, you can hit Command Shift N, or you can come up here to the track menu up here at the top, and you can just hit New. Most of the time when I'm recording, I record into mono audio tracks most of the time. So you've got a couple of options here. First is how many tracks of mono audio tracks in samples do you want? We are always going to record in samples, so don't worry about that one. We are going to want these tracks for the purpose of this tutorial to be mono audio tracks, and you choose how many. You can choose 3, you can choose 10, you can choose up to not 132, 32 in a Pro Tools LE system. You can choose 9. We're going to go ahead, let's put in 2. You can hit this plus, and you can throw in some more options, so you don't have to create and go track new, create track new. You can do this all at one time. So we're going to go ahead and put in a stereo audio track. Let's say you have a mix from a CD, somebody sent you some beats, somebody sent you some backing tracks, somebody said, hey, I want you to record, your friend in New Jersey says, hey, I want you to record a guitar on my new CD. Let me create a stereo mix for you. I send it to you in Louisiana, and you can put your guitar tracks on there and send me, everything so I can use it. The internet is a beautiful thing, so I can use it here in New Jersey. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in a master fader. You've got some options here. Audio track, which is what you record audio in. Aux input is something that we would use if we were doing a mix and we were sending, or even tracking, and we were sending some audio, some effects buses. You got a master fader. You got MIDI tracks, which you would use if you're recording MIDI, and you got an instrument track here if you were recording instruments. You were using, I don't know, Reason or Samplitude or a click track sometimes. So we're going to do a stereo master fader. We've got a stereo audio track. We've got 2 mono audio tracks, and we're ready. So we're going to hit create. Pro Tools is going to open these up for us. I am going to hit Alt left click or Option click to go ahead and clear these up so I can deal with these tracks individually. If they were all together, I wouldn't be able to deal with them individually. So we're going to hit Alt or Option to clear those up so I can deal with these one at a time. Now, the next thing you need is you are going to need a signal coming in here. We're going to have to tell Pro Tools where that signal is coming from. It's coming out of the real world and into the virtual world, the Pro Tools world here on the computer. So the way we're going to do that is the simplest way for our purposes is there's a couple of ways. You can come up here to the Windows menu and you can go to the mix screen, and that'll take us there, or you can use the shortcut and you can go either Control equal on a PC or Command equal on a Mac. So Control equal takes us to the edit screen, and you can use all of these things to take us back and forth. I've kind of gotten into the habit of Control equal. And the other thing that I've gotten into the habit is hitting Control or Command S. And what that does is save your file. So we're going to do a save here. Come up to the file menu, save as, and once you do your first save as, you can use that Control S or Command S feature. So we're going to do a save. We're going to make sure that we periodically save our session and get in the habit of saving your session as you go. In case all computers, we're dealing with computers, we're dealing with machines. You never know what can go wrong. So you want to have as much information saved as possible. So we're going to still call this Pro Tools 101. We're going to click save. It's going to ask us if we want to replace it. Yes, we do, with the most latest version of our save. So you can go in and you can see here, if you look down here at the bottom, whoops, get rid of this stuff here. Save here at the bottom. You can see it gave us a real quick flash here of save. Let me do something else here so I can show that to you. Control or Command S, and you can see that save down here flash real quick. You can see that it's saved. So from our mix window here, we need a signal coming in. And the first thing, it's always a good idea to label your tracks first. You can do this from the mix window, or you can do it from the edit window. There's a couple of ways to do that. You can double click on it if you're on a PC or a Mac. If you're on a PC, and one of the good things about using a PC is there's a nice shortcut here. You can right click and hit rename, and that's really useful for speed purposes when you're working. That's one of the things that I do like about using a PC. So we're going to double click on here, and we're going to name this vocal. And let's say the other track you've got coming in here is a guitar. And I'm just typing that in on the keyboard, and I'm hitting enter. A real neat thing you can do is you have multiple tracks. You can hit Command right arrow, and it'll take you through. See, now we're on the guitar track. It'll take you through each track, and you can go back and forth like that. And here's your audio 3. I just hit Command or Control right arrow, and we're going to call this backing track. I'll show you how to bring in a backing track. You might have tracks, like I said, from another studio. You might have some beats that you want to bring in. And there we go. We have our tracks labeled, and you can see you don't have to do them separate. Pro Tools also labels them in the mix window as well.